What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, good morning. It is the Jaguar Journal. Hope you guys are having a good Christmas, Happy New Year, all that, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, just all the good festive parts of the year. Happy New Year to you, man. I'm glad to be here with you guys, man. Let me tell you, I don't know what's out there. I was down and out this week dealing with sickness, man, and it seemed like it's out there, you know, going to stores and stuff, and I guess I had to learn the hard way. But, man, I was down and out the other day. I didn't even think I was going to probably be able to come on here and do the show. Just, you know, just sick, man, coughing. So y'all be careful out there. Just being out and about, being around. Just be, you know, mindful of just the stuff out there, man. Wear your mask. Make sure your Lysol and sanitized stuff, man. You know, you go to these stores, you're touching buggies, you're touching items. Some of y'all like the casino, you go in there touching the games, and, you know, it's whatever the case may be. I know some of y'all do like the casino. It's a good time of year, too. But just be mindful of that, man, because this time of year, it's a lot of stuff out there floating around, people traveling to and from. I was thankful this year to have my family. We all did Christmas here in Baton Rouge this year. So we talking Atlanta, Houston, Chicago, Arkansas. Everybody was able to come down and spend Christmas down here. And so just thankful to be able to do that. So I hope you guys have had a good week. I'm trying to shake back. I'm not 1,000% at all. I promise you I'm not. I'm slowly but surely getting there. Better than what I was a couple days ago. A couple days ago, I had to, and then, you know what I realized was really good? I guess as I'm getting older and I'm so used to ripping and running and going, you need rest. You got to give your body time to rest. You got to give yourself time to just chill and relax, man. And so I had to learn that the hard way. So the other day, I literally didn't leave my bed for 24 hours. I legit needed that. I doped up on medicine and just had an opportunity to just let my body rest, because when you got family, of course, when you Perry White, they got you doing everything. Hey, we need this. Go here, go there. I didn't realize how much ripping and running I was doing, how much going here and there. And I didn't get no rest for myself, and when you don't get rest for yourself and you ripping and going here and going there, and then, man, you get just whatever, slight sickness, man, it'll run a course on you. So I'm trying to get better, got a little rest, man, and I hope you guys are avoiding. Be sure, like I said before, wear your mask, hand sanitizer, get your wipes when you're going to the store with your buggies and baskets and wipe stuff down. This time of year, you're hugging everybody, you're shaking everybody's hand, you're kissing on everybody. You're just passing a lot of germs and folks going to and from all over the place, man. So I hope you guys stay safe out there. And then today's weather, especially if you're right here in the Baton Rouge area and in the South right now, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana. I've been checking out the weather, severe weather in the forecast today, possibility of tornadoes and a lot more stuff. So if you absolutely don't have to be out on the roadways today, and I know it could be a travel day for many people, be sure to sit still somewhere today. The weather is going to be kind of just that nasty all day, gray, heavy downpour, possibility of hail, possibilities, the thunder, the severe weather coming with the tornado. So hamper down. Take it, take today and just use it as a chill day. Eat some of them Christmas leftovers. Y'all still eating Christmas leftovers? Are you? Is over? Mike, you still eating Christmas leftovers? Mike said he just finished his Christmas leftovers. Mike, I can't do too much laughing. I'm going to start coughing. Excuse me. See what I'm saying? I can't do no more laughing, so I gotta kind of be serious today. But eat some of your Christmas leftovers. Just sit back, watch some bowl games. The NFL is on today. Just kind of chill out and relax, man. And if you do not have to get on the highway, if you do not have to get on the roads today, I recommend just sit down and chill as the threat of severe weather in the South, particularly Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana today is heavy today. So I'm putting it out there. If you didn't know, now you know. It's raining outside now. It was foggy this morning. The fog kind of is lifted, but the weather is just going to kind of start to get worse and worse as the day go. It's warm this time of year, and so when you get those storms coming through with that warm weather, it kind of becomes a recipe for those storms to be severe. So as I try to get better, man, I hope everybody had a great Christmas and happy holidays as we coming up on New Year's. So this will be our last show of 2024. Crazy. It's been a whole year, and we've rocked and rolled this entire year, and here we go. Here we are, the last show of 2024. And so, it's nothing special today. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the hires that we've seen around HBCU football that we've seen lately. Of course, Michael Vick to Norfolk State, Deshaun Jackson to Delaware State, Tremaine Jackson to Prairie View. And I want to have this conversation with you guys for the traditional versus the new age. I've seen the ups and downs of how people been feeling with the hires. I've seen how people feel in which it's like a change of guard, I guess. I don't know if I really want to say that, but there's just a new way of thinking, I believe. There's just a new age of evolution. And I know change does not come easy to a lot of people, especially if it's been a certain way, if you've seen it a certain way for so many years. And I want you guys' opinion when I get to talking about this when we get to 7:30. But I want to start talking about it because this is an interesting conversation when you start to see the coaching landscape begin to shift in what we saw just this past week in coaching hires. Aside from that, we're going to have my man, Coach Kevin Johnson, Southern University head men's basketball coach, going to come on and talk to us about the basketball team. I reached out to Coach Carlos Funches. He's under the weather, so he said, Perry, let's try to get with next week. And so, once again, that goes back to the rest of what I was saying before. You guys stay safe out there when it comes to the sickness, man. If you got to take a little medicine, do that. If you got to get some rest, do that. Try to have a conversation about Southern men's basketball. Look around at the SWAC. We got conference play getting ready to start. Every time once we get to the end of the year and we get to the beginning of the year, as we head into the new year, conference play is going to begin. And so we're going to talk to Coach Kevin Johnson about that. And then, as always, man, good morning to everybody that's listening out there on 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys with me this morning. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get back on track. I'm just a little thrown off. I've been shaking back from a sickness this week. I had all my family in town, and, everybody is good. I was just kind of the one ripping and running and going and didn't really get a lot of rest. And one thing led to another. For I was down and out. So I'm trying to shake back, trying to get back on my grind, trying to be back on point like I normally be, man. I'm trying this morning and don't have me laughing up in here, Mike. Don't get me laughing because I can't do no coughing. And the other day, man, I was coughing so bad. I didn't think I was going to be able to come on here and do the show today. It was no way. And I know plenty of people out there. Please avoid it, man. Wear your mask, Lysol, wipes. I can't say that enough, man. And just stay safe out there when we start to talk about this time of year. We know typically Thanksgiving and Christmas, man, you get a lot of times where you're passing germs, viruses, all type of stuff because people are coming to and from, people touching everything. You at the stores, man, traveling. Is the kids coming home. They bringing stuff from school. It's just the recipe for all disaster if you're not prepped and ready, man. So good morning to you guys, man. Good morning to everybody, man. My man Kevin Walker, man, as always, good morning. Damon, Ronald, hey, Edwin Moore, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Brandon, Mitchell, what's up? Everybody out there, that's on our YouTube channel, man. Good morning. I know you guys are dealing with me, bearing with me this morning. I'm trying. And then, hey, everybody on our Facebook page as well, good morning. So good morning to everybody listening on the radio. I should be good by 7:30, in about 4 minutes. Once we go to break, I should be back on track, just trying to get straight. But good morning. Be sure to go hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel if you have not. I know a lot of times we have a lot of our listeners, a broad range, a big range of our listeners on the radio. So a lot of you guys don't necessarily watch or listen to us on YouTube. But I'm asking that you please go to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Because what happens is you're helping us continuously grow the show. And what I like about it, and Mike and I discuss it all the time, it gives us an opportunity to grow outside of our range of just South Louisiana. Of course, we love our radio range because, this is primarily what we are. We are a radio show. The Jaguar Journal is the longest black radio show in the state of Louisiana. Did y'all know that? 20 plus years the Jaguar Journal has been going, and the fact that we're now able to evolve it farther, greater than I believe what they ever envisioned, what they wanted this show to be. The Jaguar Journal is now headed in new directions, new heights, far greater than what it ever has been, and we're going to continue to push it as we understand the legacy. We understand, because I get it all the time, and this is what I believe in, because I would say it like this. It is a Southern show. Of course, it's called the Jaguar Journal, but I try to open and break it broad about HBCUs. I try to make it broad and open about topics and politics and education, because so much of that is the world that surrounds us each and every day. And so much of that directly affects Southern HBCUs and our everyday life. But I understand what it means to make this bigger and better than what it ever could be, because I understand why it was created. It was created to have a voice and to have a platform for us to be able to have discussions, and honest discussions. Not none of that sugar-coated stuff, not none of that fluff stuff, to have honest conversations. And sometimes honest conversations, it make people uncomfortable, but that's okay. Change sometimes makes people uncomfortable. Evolution makes people uncomfortable. But that's the reason for the platform. And so we wanted to grow this thing because a lot of people want to be a part of this. People have grown up. When I hear, man, I grew up listening to the Jaguar Journal, man, my dad and my mom, and I've even had people stop me and say, man, the kids today, there's kids out there listening right now that listen to the Jaguar Journal, that get up faithfully and tune in, man. And I'm always thankful for that. And I believe in being able to give you guys the content and have the conversations that I believe that'll help us move forward. I'm not on here for just attention. I'm on here to have conversations. So whatever issues come about, that we talk about it, and that I open up the floor for you guys to talk about it. You know, the call line is always the same, 225-499-1073. You guys can always call in. You can always bring up a topic. You can if you want to ask me anything, if you want to make a statement, whatever the case may be. And it could be about any and everything, 225-499-1073. That's the beauty of this show. That's the beauty of what the Jaguar Journal was started and why it was started, and why Mike and I, man, along with my man CJ, as we brought this all to him to say why we want to continue to grow this and make it bigger and better. So now we're on Apple. What are we on? We're on Spotify. Tell me, Mike, what all Mike could get you straight.
All right. So if you guys go on our link tree, it's in the description on our Facebook, YouTube. All you have to do is go to the main channel, or on our Facebook, it is pinned. So now we're on Apple Podcast. We're on Spotify Podcast. So you can, just like regular Spotify, you can just go to it, look up the Jaguar Journal. You can listen to the audio. Like when you're on the road versus radio, it's the exact same aspect. It's going to be the audio version. And then like we've been on social media wise, we've been on X. We are on Talk 107.3, of course. We're not going to do TikTok because, there's going to be the ban in a month or two. We're on Instagram now, and then, Facebook and then our YouTube.
So we all over the place, man. Just started off as a radio show and a Facebook page. Now, look, we're all over the place, and we're going to continue to grow, continue to take this thing to new heights, because we see the vision of what this can be, and there's a reason to grow it, because if we don't support our own, then what are we doing, right? I'm watching and I'm looking, and people, I had somebody, this was probably about a year ago, and you guys know I do the show with Off Script, my man Scotty, and I was explaining how things can go and how we can do things, and somebody was very critical of me and was like, well, what are you doing with the Jaguar Journal? Why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? And I looked and I said, you know what? They're right. As I'm looking at the world that's around and I'm watching everything evolve, why are we not evolving the very thing that we have that's right here? And we've been working hard to evolve it. And as I look around, man, and I see the support other places, right? Y'all see the Jackson State people support their stuff, right? Yeah, Jackson State does. They be over here, don't they? They just want to talk noise to Perry, that's all. They ready for me to say something that they feel and deem is wrong, so they can say you were wrong, Perry, and that's okay. Who's always 100% right? Nobody's always. So sometimes I am wrong, especially if I'm going against Jackson State and just so happen, if they just so happen to win and I say they was going to lose. But we know the two biggest fan bases are Jackson and Southern. But we got to put our same love and support behind the very platforms that's pushing us. I'm getting on here every week pushing what we doing, talking about the things that we're doing. We got to support it. And that's why we're doing the things that we do. We can't sit back and say we want more of this and more of that. What I'm ultimately trying to do, and Mike and I, as we continue to grow this thing, this is going to be a platform for us to be able to get our players on here. We already have the coaches. I reach out to administration as much as I can to get them on here. Now, if they deny, if they say yes or no, but it does not matter. And what we have done is done a great job at building a relationship with Southern to open the door. I know there has been some up and downs between Southern and this show, right? It has not always been pretty. But shoot, I can tell you since Perry White been right here, hey, we fixing those relationships. All right, now, does everybody at Southern always like what Perry White say? No, they do not. Coaches, administrators, it don't matter. Fans sometimes, does everybody like what I say? No, that's okay, though. But they have the opportunity to use the platform as well. And this is not a one-sided affair. It's not Perry White's way or no way. It's a platform to have conversation, and I'm willing to listen if you're willing to listen to me, and I'm willing to have a conversation. So it don't matter. That's all this is, and that's what we're doing. We're growing this thing, man. So go on the journey with us as we continue to grow this. This is for us, by us, and that's what we're doing. Name me something else in Baton Rouge. Name me another show in Baton Rouge where you getting this. Name me another show in Louisiana where you getting this. Where if you want to talk Southern that y'all love, HBCUs and stuff like that, name me another show in Louisiana. Especially that you're going to hear on mainstream radio and not just YouTube and podcast. I'm talking about actual show. So that's all what we're trying to do, man. I want you guys to believe in us and what we're doing here and to buy into what we're doing, because it took me a while to understand the purpose and the reason of the Jaguar Journal, because, once again, it was before me. So sometimes, you know, when you're young and something is before you and you get there, you don't quite understand the history to it. You don't quite put the respect to it like you should. But I've been around enough now doing this show, talking to people, and understanding now the purpose. And the purpose is we're going to continue to grow this thing. We're going to take this thing to bigger and better heights than it ever been. 2024 was the start. 2025, we finna rock and roll. So let's get ready to take a break. When we come back on the other side, I'm going to have a conversation with you guys. So you guys stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown!
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard, 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning, everybody. I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. Had to run a couple commercial breaks right there, pay some bills. Glad to have you guys with us. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. We coming up. This is the last show of 2024. As I talked about it before, we have done a lot with this show in 2024. I'm excited to see the direction of where we're going. Mike and I have had a lot of discussions, man, and Mike has done a lot behind the scenes to make sure and ensure that we are continuously growing this show. Even with changing programs, we got a new program here in the studio. He figured that thing out, and so we're continuously moving forward. So 2025, you can expect bigger and better as we make sure that this platform with the Jaguar Journal continues to grow. Good morning, everybody out there listening to us on 107.3 in the Baton Rouge area. And good morning, everybody out there listening on our YouTube channel. Glad to have you guys with us. And everybody listening and watching on Facebook Live, man, as always, I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of things you could be doing. But if you're listening to me and watching what we're doing this morning, man, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys had a great time with your family. If you didn't spend time with your family, I just hope you had a great time just enjoying yourself, man. And as we get ready to get into 2025, don't come up with all these crazy New Year's resolutions now. Y'all crazy for these New Year's resolutions that y'all normally like to come up with, right? I know the gym memberships. We know that for sure. Gym memberships about to go through the roof. January is always probably their best time of the year, right? Everybody want to get the 6-month membership. By the time the month of June comes, y'all ain't on that same, you ain't feeling that same energy no more. Right? What y'all doing? What's your New Year's resolution? I don't know if I really have one this year for me. I've never really been big on the New Year's resolution. I'm always just trying to evolve and get better. It don't take a new year for me to do that. It's every day I'm just trying to figure out what ways can we evolve, what ways can we get better. That's in my head. But I understand some people need that goal to put in front of them. Some of you guys, it's to lose weight. It's okay if you want to shed a couple pounds. Some of y'all probably need to clean up your house. It's okay. New Year's Eve, clean that house up. Start the new year with a clean house. Some of it could be spending more time with your family and kids. Do that. Give them kids and that family some attention that they need. That wife, that husband, them children. Give them some attention. You find yourself putting so much time into the stuff that don't even matter when you got the stuff right there, the people in front of you that matter. Put some attention to them. Pay attention to what's in front of you. Don't lose track and don't forget about what's important. And I talked about it even with my family, man, with my kids for the Christmas, the entire week. I unplugged them. We didn't do no phones. We didn't do none of that stuff. And you know what? I saw a world of a difference. The focus was better. I gave out books. Here, read this book. And when you're done, let me know. This book got 100-some pages. You can be done with that in 2 days. You ain't doing nothing else. We played games together, had conversations, sit down and actually talk. You know, that's what I was doing with the kids. Unplug, put the phones. I got all phones. I cut them off and I put them up. I ain't see the whole week, no phone. I don't want to see a phone. Don't ask me about a phone. Ain't nothing that important. If somebody need to contact you, they'll call your dad. Sometimes you got to do that to the kids. Unplug them. Send them outside. That's what we did. Went outside. Took them, tried to teach them how to drive. Had my daughter, hey, let's drive. Even my son. He couldn't reach the pedals, but I let him, hey, we go in the parking lot. You can turn the wheel. Just stuff. Just spend time. Forget just how good time feels instead of everybody being ducked off in their phones and in their electronics and laptops and everybody so busy dealing with something and forgetting about what's really important sitting right there in front of you. That's how I treated the holiday. We're going to spend time with who in front of us. Forget that phone. Forget the internet. Forget social media. Forget all them friends. Unplug from them. We're going to spend time with each other. We're going to focus on each other. We're going to have conversations. We're going to learn how to talk. Right? Because this young generation, try to have a conversation with them. They're a little different. So we're going to learn how to talk. We're going to understand what it is to ask questions and get responses back, full response. Not none of that short answer. No, we're going to talk. That way, if there's problems, I can identify the problem right now, right here, through conversation. Because oftentimes problems get overlooked because the quick responses or just the lack of in-depth conversation. So all of that, man, for me, it was just the beautiful time of the year to spend time with the kids. And like I said before, give them the things that you had, not the things that you feel like you didn't have. Make them respect what you did have because you respect the things that you had when you were young, right? They become unappreciative when you try to give them the things that you say you didn't have. Well, we didn't have this. I want to make sure I get this. Give them the things that you had. Hey, underwear, socks, and T-shirts, I don't care. Look, matter of fact, it's such a... Before I go to break, I saw a video on social media, and I posted it on my own page, and tell you how simple things can be, but at the same time, priceless. I saw a video of this little dude who loves Thriller by Michael Jackson, and his uncle bought him the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. You know, the red jacket with the black. And the little dude put the jacket on, and listen, when he got that jacket, that was better than any video game, any electronic, anything. That little dude put that jacket on. They went and watched Thriller, and that little dude did that Thriller dance. And he was so, you could just feel the power of Michael Jackson in him, just the energy, the excitement. Man, that was amazing. That's tapping into that little dude's energy, realizing, man, forget them games and all. This little dude is special, man. Let's take care of that moment right there. That's what I'm saying. You got to make sure that you pay attention to stuff like that. It's beautiful moments like that. This is just an end of the year recap, but we're going to jump into it. I know y'all want some sports. Y'all want to talk about some other stuff, and I do that. Let's take a break, Mike, and we come back. We'll continue the conversation. Y'all stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal, all right?
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White. And what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown. Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle, and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5.
All right, good morning. It's the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. My man Mike on the board. Glad to have you. Good morning, everybody on 107.3 FM in the Baton Rouge capital city area. Everybody watching and listening to us on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Man, appreciate you. Be sure to go follow us across all social media. X. I keep wanting to call it Twitter. X just sound, I don't know what that sound like to me. It just sound like something I shouldn't let the kids go on, right? Y'all on, get off X, all right? So X, Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff, man. So thank you guys for all that you do. Listen, big news this week, right? Michael Vick being hired at Norfolk State. Deshaun Jackson being hired at Delaware State. Right? Bold moves by both administrations, by both schools. And I mean, let's really look at it, because we talked about it last week when I had Blue on here. And to me, these aren't celebrity hires, right? People say, well, these celebrity hires, these are just former NFL guys, right? Because Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State is a former NFL guy. Bubba McDowell, who was at Prairie View, was a former NFL guy. They weren't celebrities? No, they were former NFL coaches. Former NFL players, now HBCU football coaches. I don't like that notion of celebrity. These aren't celebrities, right? They're just former NFL players. And it seems that people are starting to have an issue, and it's been mixed emotions. And I must say, because I saw one, and I call it out, a former coach in this league, Johnny Cole, right? I watched Coach Cole on his show with my man Rocky and all of them. He seemed to have really had a problem with it because he made a status and he posted it all over the groups on social media about the idea of celebrity coaches and these former NFL guys and giving them opportunities when you got coaches that are part of these coaching pools that they feel administrators are overlooking. And to me, I thought, in my opinion, that statement sounded kind of like being a hater in the situation. That's my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to talk bad on somebody getting an opportunity when maybe that opportunity could have been me, but that's their blessing. There's plenty of opportunities. You just got to wait for yours. But I'm not going to hate on somebody or talk down on their blessing because it was right there in front of them. And I say this because I saw it all over and I saw the mixed emotions. I saw the comments, but I just thought from Coach Cole, just to be in that situation to make that statement, I really wasn't feeling that because it's like, hey, let's look at the evolution of what we see in the game, what we're seeing change. Norfolk State and Delaware State have not had success in quite a long time. And when I say success, we're talking about success, right? When last time you heard them continuously competing for something in football? When last time have you heard them continuously getting the notoriety? Bringing in the resources. I mean, regardless of no coaching experience, because that would seem to be his biggest thing, that these guys don't have prior coaching experience, but these guys have resources to coaches, resources to money. We're talking about we're low resource institutions. At some point, you got to want to go out and find resources. And I'm going to ruffle feathers with this because I get it. Let's take an Eric Dooley, for example. I'm using names. I can care less today. It is what it is, right? Eric Dooley, good coach. Just kind of fizzled out, right? It happens. Nothing bad about Eric Dooley. He had his time and he fizzled out. Coached around the entire SWAC West, right? What resources did Eric Dooley bring to a school? He may have brought the coaching experience, right? Because he went to Southern, he was at Grambling, he was at Pine Bluff, he was at Prairie View, then he made his way back around. But what resources, what doors, what more was he able to bring to the table? And I'm using Coach Dooley as an example because he is a seasoned veteran coach of the conference that I can use because he literally went to every school in the SWAC West except Texas Southern and Alcorn. And so if administrators want to go out and bring in somebody from a former NFL guy and bring him in, hey, let him do it. It ain't no worse. It ain't no great. It's just an opportunity to try to see what can we do. To bring exposure. You need exposure in 2024 the same way I'm telling you that we're growing the Jaguar Journal from just being radio. Now we across all social media. We on Spotify. We on all these different other areas. You need opportunities to be able to expand. This is a new age, new day. Mike, how long we got before we got to go to break? Got to go to break now. All right, let's get ready to go to break. We come back on the other side. I'll continue the conversation. All right, stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
Quarter with Jackson State leading 10-3. Ball's at the 31-yard line. Again, throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. And every time you think Southern struggles, they come back, they make a play. They've done it all year long. Kick is up. Kick is good. Second down and a yard to go. Again, they give it to Lewis. Lewis finds room. Lewis still on his feet. Lewis making a move to the outside. He's inside the 25, the 10, the 5. What a run by Ryan Lewis. 69-yard run for Ryan Lewis, and how about this? Kicks up, kicks good.
Halftime, George Johnson along with Charles Mann. Southern trailed in this football game 10-7. Then they reel off 14 straight points, and they do it with the big plays.
And that's something that we didn't think would happen, at least from Southern's perspective. They've been able to methodically go down the field on people and win ball games, not the big plays. You saw the big play by Ryan Lewis running 69 yards, the nice throw by Terrence Levy. This is something that I don't think Jackson State thought they would see in Southern either, and they go into halftime down by 7 points.
Jackson State came in the best defense out of the SWAC. And if you take a look at the highlights, you will see that this club, and I'm talking about Southern, was really able to capitalize on a couple of miscues, and the big plays are the result of it.
And this is Daniel Guy with a nice stiff arm to Bradley Pittman there. And he runs that ball 36 yards inside for a touchdown, makes it 7-3. And then Terrence Levy, quarterbacking, throws a big bomb to Michael Hayes, who gets by Rashard Anderson and waltzes into the end zone for a 69-yard reception. And then the big run by Ryan Lewis, the scat back for Southern, races 69 yards for the score. And that's where it stands right now, 17-10. Southern is on top.
Passing leaders in the conference, Lionel Hayes from Grambling, your top passer. Washington second, but he's intercepted right there. This time the inside handoff,
and the ball was dropped to Tommy Head.
Here's Taylor in the pocket, looking downfield and looking for Leroy Fields, and this one looks intercepted, and it is.
He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. Hayes now with 187 yards receiving. 169-yard touchdown, 181-yard touchdown.
And Southern's came up with all the big plays.
They lead by 14. And that one is intercepted by Darden. Darden looking for some room, and Guyan will finally drag him down. But we start the 4th right after this. 2nd down and 20 after the penalty.
Oh, he's got a man wide open.
Going into the corner. Touchdown! Reynolds attempting the point after. It's good. A 32-yard field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good.
This is a great football game.
We knew it would be, though. Torrey Thigpen got us out of our seats.
And this is the punt return by Torrey Thigpen. We were just talking about we haven't seen him. He breaks 2 tackles and runs up the sideline. He has great blocking, but gets pushed out of bounds on about the 1-yard line.
And touchdown Jackson State.
The game is a game of momentum swings. Snap is good. The kick is up.
On driver. Yes, sir.
The ball up to the big receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out of bounds at the 10-yard line. An I formation. Oh! Fumble Levy. He kicks it and falls on top of it.
Touchdown. Receiver that has.
All right, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody out there listening on 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area. Good to have you guys, and everybody watching and listening to us on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and across whatever other platforms you are listening to us on. Good to have you guys with us. Happy holidays and getting ready for a happy new year. And as we get ready to close out 2024, this is our last show. You know, getting ready to head into 2025, that means conference play is going to start in the SWAC. And nobody better to talk about conference play when we start to talk about basketball than Southern University head men's basketball coach my man, Coach Kevin Johnson. Good morning, Coach Johnson.
Good morning, Terry.
Man, good to have you on, man. How you doing?
Always good to be here.
As we close out football season, you guys got going, and football season is now a stamp on that. We're heading into conference play, and we all know how things go because, look, we're trying to get to that SWAC title, baby. Get that regular season and that tournament. And I understand, you're a hard-working man, and I've had the privilege to be able to have conversations, sit in at practices with you, watch you coach these guys up. And, I learned a lot just from watching your coaching style and watch what you do and your philosophy. And as you look at this team right now, 5-7 on the season, and when you look at some of the wins for you guys, and let's go back to November, right? You got the season started on November the 4th. You guys had a tough loss, 93-79 to South Dakota. You go on the road. You have a tough one, 89-74 loss to Iowa. Even tougher one right here, and I got to ask you once we break it down, to East Texas A&M, 70-68. Man, that was a heartbreaker. But then you come back, you get a big one, 131 points. You put up 131, man, you beat the hell out this team to that 42. A tough one. 131 points, man. Everybody should have got free tacos or something, Coach. I can't get over that one. Then Texas A&M in a tough one, the top 25 team, 71-54. Then you be a champion college. You put up 121. Free tacos again for everybody. Southern got that victory. Then you got a one, and I think this one turned a couple heads around the state. You got 73-70 victory over Louisiana Tech, right? Then you come back, and then you match that one with a 70-66 victory over Tulsa. And then this was my first opportunity in this next one over Lindsey Wilson. I had a chance to see you guys in person because I had watched those other games on television, and a tough one. And Lindsey Wilson was a pretty tough team. I didn't realize they were going to be that tough of an out. But 94-69, your team pulled it out. And then a tough one on the road against Ole Miss, number 17. Ole Miss, 74-61. Ole Miss with the victory. And then the last two, you guys lose 89-73 and then 82-51 in your last outing against the University of Southern California, USC. And then on Monday, you'll be having Nebraska as you wrap up non-conference. But, Coach, just going through that, and we always know that non-conference schedule can be brutal because you're on the road so much. You're all over the place, and you have to prepare for each one of these teams. And as we've seen, plenty of top 25 teams. But for you and this team in non-conference, man, what have you learned about this team?
Well, first of all, Perry, I might be showing my age a little bit here, but do you remember the toy Rock'em Sock'em robot?
I do. Remember that? Yeah, I do.
So I'm listening to you recount our non-conference schedule to this point, and I feel like one of those robots, man. I'm just getting hit in the head, bam, 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 and man, it just tells you we've kind of been all over the country. And I read something yesterday that we played the 14th toughest schedule in all of college basketball.
Really?
So I don't know if our fans understand that there's 365 teams that play Division I basketball. Our schedule is the 14th toughest. And, and saying that, when you look at the Division I experience, you were talking about our first three games. We are 329th in Division I experience. That's guys who have had experience at this level. And so we start off the season at South Dakota, and they have 11 seniors on that team. We go to Iowa, and they have 7. And then even at East Texas A&M, it was a veteran team, and that's a game that we definitely well could have won. We actually had the ball and had the last possession of the game and had a misexecution. But the one thing that I have noticed this year is that the teams that are really successful, they're very senior laden. And so it excites me that we've been able to be as competitive as we have, having ranking, 329th out of 365 in Division I experience. But we had a home game there in Ecclesia where I think it was more of our guys just, getting a little frustration out of, losing that tough one on the road at East Texas A&M, and just being on the road, man. Sometimes it's just good to be at home.
Mm-hmm.
And but you look at some of the people we played. Texas A&M was ranked 13th in the country, and that's a ball game that we really led and kind of dominated towards the end of the first half. And then, of course, when you play those kind of teams, there's a lot of factors that can cause change, and I don't want to get into all that. But
Mm-hmm.
but I thought we had a really good effort, and then we come home and we beat a champion team that was undermanned, but I liked the preparation at that point, and so we go on the road and we went at Louisiana Tech and really controlled that game for the majority of the game. And if you don't know, man, Louisiana Tech is a top 100 team in the country. They were undefeated at that time, and for us to go up there and win, people don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it showed me some signs of what we could be when we were at full strength. And then we turn around from that and go up to Tulsa and beat an American Conference team, and I started to see more of what I like in this team. And Lindsey Wilson, don't sleep on Lindsey Wilson. The game you saw, they're a top tier NAIA program.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of Division I schools won't even play a team like that, but they happen to have a date, and we needed a home game, and so we played them, and they challenged us. And I think in the second half we're able to overpower them. And then that leads us in kind of to our last trip. We go on the road to play Ole Miss, who's another top 15 team, and did a lot of really good things in that game. And, they end up beating us by 13. But I was talking to their coaching staff. The associate head coach there, Mark Adams, is a guy I used to work for, and he's considered one of the defensive gurus in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he says, Kevin, look, nobody rebounds us. Nobody comes in here and out-rebounds an SEC opponent. We did that. He said nobody turns us over, and, we forced them into 17 turnovers. And so, again, I see signs of what we could develop into. And we leave directly from there and go to California and run into a red-hot Loyola Marymount team. And, we got off to a slow start. I think they jumped up on us something like 15-2 in the first 4 minutes. But if you look at the final 36 minutes, we kind of played that team even. And they're in that WCC conference with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. So, again, that was a level up in competition. And then the last game, USC is not in the top 25, but before this thing is over, they're going to be a very talented team. They had a lot of size, and and again, we're outmanned. But I think our guys earned some valuable experience in the non-conference so far. We're not done yet. Nebraska's a top 40 team in the country, and we leave in the morning heading up to Nebraska, and they'll be very similar to USC, a lot of size, a lot of experience. And, again, these teams have a lot of seniors, a lot more than we do. But we have to use this as another game and our last opportunity to get ready for SWAC play.
Let me ask you this, because the statement was made by Gramblin's women's basketball coach after Grambling women's team had played LSU up in Shreveport, and she didn't really like the notion of playing that type of competition, right? She was saying, we getting our brains beat out, and what good is this going to do? This does not help us for conference play. I didn't agree with that, and I'm not going to ask you to speak on what she said, but I'm going to ask, do you embrace the tougher competition when you go on the road and you playing the teams the like of top 25 in the country? Yeah, and again, I don't know what she's going through, but everybody's different. I know that in my situation, we have to play a certain amount of those games. And so it is what it is. What I would like to do is I would like to use those opportunities to continue improving. And, last year we were able to go on the road and, and beat a top 25 team in Mississippi State. But those games, they do, Perry, they present some real challenges.
Number one, in those games that you're not going to get any breaks, you're not going to get any calls. They're going to have all the momentum-changing plays. And if you don't shoot the ball well, then you literally have no chance. But it still gives you a chance to work on the things that you need for your league play.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of been my philosophy on it. If I were just doing the schedule and planning the schedule, I'd probably try to do it like the P4 and the P5s do. It's the reason they buy all these games, because it helps build winning culture. But that's not the situation that we're in. So, I like to play cards with the hand I'm dealt, and we're going to try to make the best of it. So, and I think we've gained some advantages. Now, the one thing I don't like about it is, I give an example. So we're playing on the road at LMU, and Derek Tesno breaks a nose. We're at USC, and Mike Jacobs, who's probably our first guy off the bench and a really good guard that I love, he gets injured. He's probably not going to play against Nebraska. Tajon Demasi, all-conference preseason first-team guard, gets injured at Ole Miss. And so when you play those games, there's always an opportunity, I guess more of an opportunity to develop an injury as opposed to playing people at your level. But you know what? This is basketball, man. People can get hurt in any game. You can get hurt in practice. I've seen guys get hurt in warm-ups. But, again, there's pros and cons to both sides of it, Perry, but we're going to take what we got and work with it.
Let me ask, when you go through non-conference, how much does that prepare you for conference play? Because you can kind of assess what you see from your team against tougher competition and realize the things that you can work on, and because you get a lot of film now when you look at these guys.
Yeah. It's two things really for me. The first thing is, and I try to tell guys this in recruiting, hey, you come to Southern, don't think you come into playing a low-level league. Man, the SWAC is really good basketball. And one of the things that I learned firsthand last year is extremely physical. And so when you play up and play those high-level teams, number one, you're going to play a physical game. Number two, they have all the tools at that level to know everything about you. And so they can disrupt your execution. And so if you can have some success in terms of executing, whether it's offense or defense against that caliber, then I think it's my belief that it helps you in league play.
Let's talk about your team. Let's get some names of guys because you're making this thing work. What does roster look like? Who are the guys that you're relying on this year as you get ready to take on Nebraska and then get into conference play and push for that SWAC?
Well, we had three guys who had quite a bit of experience from last year, okay? Tajon Demasi was kind of our lead point guard last year. He ended up finishing up second team all-league. He's back. He's one of our more experienced guys. Derek Tesno, averaged, 32, 33 minutes a game last year. He's a senior. He's back, plays a small forward position for us. And then a guy who I really thought we missed down the stretch last year because of his injury was Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson is one of the better three-point shooters in the country. He was really a key factor on our team last year, and he got hurt. He missed a lot of conference play. But right now he's leading our team in scoring. And so those are the returners that we're kind of relying on, and we need those guys to get healthy. We need Tajon back. We need Derek to kind of get over his deal. I don't know how you get over a broken nose. I think he's going to have to play with a mask here for the short term. But those are the returners. But Perry, we also brought some new guys. We got 9 new players, and a lot of them have shown that they can contribute. Probably number one is Mike Jacobs, junior college guard that we signed from Atlanta. He has shown some real signs. He's currently our second leading scorer and was really instrumental in taking control over that game at Tulsa. that's the guy we recruited, and we needed him to be able to be like a lead guard, a downhill guard, an attacking guard. And so he's shown some good signs. Damari Jones, another transfer that came from Mobile, has shown some signs that he can score inside and rebound the ball. Joe Manning, who's a Louisiana native from Bossier, junior college guard, he had 21 points in the win over at Louisiana Tech. So trying to get him to continue to be consistent. And, he's shooting 48% from three, which is something that this team desperately needs, a great three-point threat. And then there's some other guys that I'd like to see a little bit more from. Cam Ambry is a guard from Oral Roberts. We got out of the portal that has kind of been up and down. I'd like to see him be a little bit more consistent. And DeAndre Thomas is a post that came over from McNeese. Actually, a kid I've been knowing since he was in the ninth grade. He was about 6'7" and a half, 230. I felt like he would give us a better inside presence this year. He has shown flashes of that. So we're still a work in progress. I think the number one thing that I'd like to do going into league play is get to a point where we're healthy, and that'll give us the best chance.
Yeah, want to get back on track. You guys get ready for conference play. January the 4th, you'll be on the road against Texas Southern, and then you'll have Prairie View. And then before you'll come home on January the 11th, you'll have Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. I got that Bethune-Cookman game circled. Reggie Theus, we owe him a lot, Coach. Look, that Bethune-Cookman team was tough last year, man.
They had two really good guards last year, and boy, they were difficult to guard. I'm a little bit surprised they finished where they did. And I think in the preseason rankings, going back to media day, I think they were picked 7th or 8th. And Reggie Theus came to the podium and said, I promise you we're not a 7th or 8th place team. I promise you we're going to be in the top 3 in the league. So, but, all these teams in the league are tough. I've watched a lot of these games, and, certainly we got our hands full with the first road trip. But yeah, they'll second weekend, the Florida schools come to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and you talk about that tough stretch in non-conference, and I look through non-conference, man, and I'm looking at a lot of these records. You can see the struggle bus for a lot of these teams. And so for you guys with the 14th toughest schedule in the conference and to be at 5-7, understanding what you up against and many top 25 teams on the road all over the place, man, I think right now, aside from you dealing with just the bangs and the bruises of just, that tough non-conference, once you guys get on the other side of this, it seems like you're going to be battle-tested and that this team should be prepped and ready because the way that you guys have come out of non-conference compared to where I'm looking at everybody else, I like your chances, Coach.
Well, we built the team to try to win a championship, but don't be confused. Every single team in the SWAC has been battle tested, and you have to throw the records out of the window. And I'll give an example. That team in Jackson, I don't think they've had a win yet this year, and yet they have been in every game. I've watched them several times, and they should have beat Arkansas State, who's got a heck of a team. So everybody's been battle tested, and I think it's a lot of parity. I think it's going to be a very challenging conference year, and it's probably a pick-em type situation. It's about who can get some momentum, who can keep some momentum, and who can finish.
That's it, Coach, man. Anything you got for the fans out there?
Come early. If you can get on the road and get to Texas next weekend, boy, it would really be a tremendous help. Last year we had the luxury of starting conference play at home. This year we don't. We need to see some blue and gold at Texas Southern. I'd love to see some blue and gold at Prairie View. And as far as these home games, people felt like in the league Bethune had the toughest home court. I want to make sure the mini dome is that way. So come early, be loud, stay late, and give them doggone referees heck. So we're excited, Perry.
You know what we should do? I enjoyed them kids. I thought the kids were better than any fans that ever showed up. When you guys played with the kids that came in on the field trip, and them kids was interactive. They was loud.
Yeah, so that's an education game. That's always a treat, especially to get those kids from Baton Rouge elementary schools and middle schools and high schools into those games. That's something we need. So that was a treat for us as well.
And, man, it was good to see them, interact with the players. They wanted autograph. They create an environment. Kids are so innocent, but at the same time, they are so loyal to the process of just seeing how it all worked. I enjoyed every bit of that, man. They were loud when the other team was getting ready to shoot free throws. They were screaming. They was yelling. They were very much a part of that game, man. So I thoroughly enjoyed the kids. Man. If we can get the fans just as engaged as them kids, we're going to be all right.
I'd love to have it, man. There's nothing like that home court advantage.
Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Good luck to you guys against Nebraska, man. Happy holidays to you and your family and as well as the players. Safe travels, man. Try to stay healthy out there. I know you guys, when you're all over the place, man, you could be susceptible to all type of stuff. So, man, stay healthy, man, and come back, man. And, look, we're going to be pulling for you, and this won't be the last time you're on here, man. We got to chop it up. It's basketball season, man. It's time to rock and roll.
No doubt, no doubt. Always a pleasure to be on, Perry, and let's make it a great weekend.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you.
All right, bye.
That is the voice of Southern University head basketball coach, Coach Kevin Johnson. Let's get ready to take a break. We come back. I'm going to go back to that conversation we were having before we got to the top of the hour about the coaches, what you consider celebrities, but I don't call them that. I just think they some football guys, right? All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back. More to Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And, Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help, only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown.
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard. 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
Right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Good morning to everybody. Let's go straight to the phone line. Let's go to my man, Chuck. Good morning, Chuck. How you doing?
Good morning to you, too. I hope your Christmas went well. Mine was watching sports, and I got a chance to watch Christmas Eve. Got a chance to watch a Hawaii Bowl at that 5 overtime South Florida with victory over San Jose State, and to bring the HBCU side to Jay Walker and Tiffany Green did the call for that game in Hawaii, and also Floyd Chalk, former Grambling running back, played for San Jose State. And that was a great ball game, and also you on this topic of who's been hired at these schools with Michael Vick at Norfolk State and Deshaun Jackson at Delaware State, and it's something that Michael Vick has come in there and one thing that's a basketball school. You think about Robert Jones with the men's basketball team. I know you just had Kevin Johnson on the basketball side at Southern, and also the name this will be interesting. I'm gonna give you some humor about that. The women's basketball coach, Larry Vickers, who's had some success on that side in Vickers, and now you have Vick there, Vickers and Vick. That should be interesting at Norfolk State. Those two names, Vickers and Vickers has had success, and also Vick can have success now on that side coaching. And also, I'm gonna land on this one with Delaware State. Delaware State has had it'd be great to have someone like Deshaun Jackson there, bring the young people have never seen the winning Delaware State teams of I remember Bill Kollick and Al Lavin, who's passed on. Al Lavin coached in the NFL, and one thing about it, by the way, Coach Kollick is on the board of trustees at Delaware State, and he lives in Lewis, Delaware. That's where he's from, and he won those MEAC championships. I saw those teams during that time. And that's one thing about it. It's great to bring that generation in with Deshaun Jackson as the head football coach.
Yeah, it is, man. Thank you, Chuck, for the call, man. And happy holidays to you, man. And happy New Year, Chuck.
Happy New Year to you and Mike and everybody, the listeners and the viewers and listeners. Happy holidays to you and happy New Year.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right.
Yeah, look, they're not the football guys, man. Okay, right? You say they don't have any prior coaching experience, okay? You say they may not bring any resources, okay? But when you look at those programs, it's like, all right, what have they already had? What have they done? Let's get ready to go to a commercial break here in a second, but we're going to continue to keep this conversation going. And let's do a commercial break, Mike, and then we'll take a call or so. Let's go to commercial. We'll come back and keep the conversation going. 225-499-1073 if you want to call in and chime in on this notion of former NFL guys who may not have coaching experience but considered celebrity coaching hires. If you want to call in, 225-499-1073 is the number. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with us having this conversation about the former NFL guys now being named head coaches. Michael Vick at Norfolk State, Deshaun Jackson now Delaware State. And listen, because I'm saying they hired, I'm not saying this is going to lead to instant success. I'm not saying this is going to rake in millions and billions of dollars, right? I didn't say these guys were going to instantly go and turn these programs around, because we saw the slow process it took even with Eddie George at Tennessee State. I'm not saying it's just going to be a quick fix because they hiring these guys. Let's go to the phone line real quick. We got Chris on the line. Good morning, Chris.
What's going on, Perry? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? Happy holidays.
Same to you. The only thing I was wanting to comment on was, and that's just from I saw Coach Cole also, and just what he was just basically saying. He was just saying, you got a lot of guys that have put their time in that necessarily not getting that opportunity. You take your guy up there in Pine Bluff, you take Tony Hull, somebody like that, somebody that's had coaching experience and what have you. And these guys are not getting the opportunity per se for whatever reason. And I think what Coach Cole was more concerned about was the immediate hiring impact that these guys are getting opportunity, and you get a guys that are actually good coaches that's not even getting the opportunity. I think that's where he was going with that. And I agree with you. This isn't the first time NFL former players have gotten hired. We've had a plethora of them in the SWAC.
Doug Williams.
Well, you had a whole bunch of them. You had Ron Cooper, who's the head coach at Louisville, go to Alabama A&M. You had Bud Dickerson, that was offensive coordinator at Arkansas. I mean, the big schools, Power 5 schools. I think his son played at Arkansas. But in other words, you've had top-level coaches that have come to our conference, and also former ball players,
Pete Richardson, former NFL guy.
Right. But the thing of it is when you made the point saying, well, these guys bring resources and different things like that, to be honest with you, Perry, the resources are great, they're needed and everything, but at the end of the day, Perry, if a guy can coach and he bring in the right assistants, that's going to take care of anything that you need, and the greatest example is Coach Richardson. When Coach Richardson, you probably not, you heard the story about when we hired him, we had just beat Winston-Salem State brains out in Shreveport. I mean, beat them to death. So back then, if Southern beat somebody that bad, they can't have a good coach. And so when Coach Castle named Coach Richardson as the coach, everybody's like, man, why are we hiring this guy? But what we didn't know was that he brought in an outstanding staff. And if you look back at the staff that he brought in and look where they ended up at, and that was the key to it. And that is the key to all of it, Perry. If a guy come in and win it, the resources will take care of themselves. Now, the Norfolk State situation, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, Mike Vick is an icon in that area. and I can see it from all standpoints from Norfolk State for hiring him. This is somebody that's well thought of. This is somebody that's been through the struggle. This is somebody that can tell kids it's not all about the bling. This is somebody that's been humble, that was sitting on top, and he's somebody that can probably inspire. Now I don't know a whole lot about Delaware State, but it's kind of like with Jackson State when they hired Deion, nothing for nothing, leave nothing. What we had beat them like 7 years in a row, so they didn't have nothing to lose by hiring him. So, but from Coach Cole's standpoint, he's just talking about guys that's putting in the time. And if you start on this trend per se, he's feeling like they might not get the opportunity.
I understand that. I get it. I totally get it. I don't know if that falls back into that notion of, here we go. We like to use this. We like to recycle coaches.
Exactly.
That's what it goes back into that notion. Like, hey, it looked like we're getting away from going with the coach. Because I heard Coach Terrence Graves once say on another show that, when I was a young man, the legendary coaches that I came up under told me that one day you're going to have to carry the torch, right? Mm-hmm. And that when you have to carry the torch, when it's all said and done, when we gone, somebody else is going to have to be ready to help lead these HBCUs. Mm-hmm. I wholeheartedly respect that, especially because I respect the past and I understand the foundation that all of this is built off of. But I also, at the same time, realize we are living in a ever-changing and an ever-evolving athletic world now, especially college football. And college football does not look like the same that it did back in those days. You do need somebody to carry the torch. No problem with it. But at some point, some of these schools need somebody, I believe, outside of that realm to come in and to help just to maybe give a little nudge, maybe to give a little bit more marketing or opportunity. And that's just my opinion in terms of the world that's changing now. And okay. I get it. Well, there is a circle and a group of guys that know each other, that coach with each other, and they all, when they get together, hey, I coach with them at Bama State. I coach with them at North Carolina A&T. We all coach together at Southern. I get it. And so when those opportunities arise, that's typically you see those guys move around. He's at Pine Bluff now. He's at Valley. But I'm okay with sometime going away from that, too. Is that and that's the thing where I'm at. Is that a problem? And does that shake up things so bad to where people feel like, like that's all bad. Like that's nonsense. I don't think it's nonsense.
No, I don't think it's nonsense because the guys are knowledgeable of the game, and then guys obviously aren't trying to embarrass themselves. I mean, if you look back at Eddie George, it was his wife that really convinced him to do it because he was kind of apprehensive about it. But it's all about surrounding yourself with good people. Here's one thing, Perry, that I've been studying and really focusing in on. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the FCS, and I'm looking at the Dakotas, the Montanas, and all these different schools.
And you ain't going to beat them.
Okay, but here's the thing that I looked at. Have you ever looked at any of them rosters?
Yeah. Well, you want to know where the kids are from?
Yeah.
Montana, Iowa, Minnesota.
But this is the thing that I looked at, Perry. This is the thing that I looked at. I looked at Montana State's roster. Montana State got 9 FBS guys. They got 3 guys from Power 5 schools. The rest of them are from G4 or whatever schools, Air Force, Texas, San Antonio, stuff like that. 9 guys. Everything else is pretty much, they get skilled players out of Texas and California. But the rest of it is pretty much boys that are from around the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is it's not from a standpoint of talent. Then I look at our schools. We might have 28 guys from FBS schools transferred in. And the thing that gets me is when you look at these schools, the Dakotas, the Montana, and all of them, all of their guys are promoted from within. North Dakota State got, 9 championships?
And they roll through
coaches. Every last one of their coaches that moved from the head coach. When the other head coach get promoted to FBS school, they just move the next guy. Same thing with South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a winning culture that's created. And I'm telling you, Perry is coaching. Perry is coaching.
And sometimes, Chris, let me say this. I think we self-sabotage ourselves when we have a winning culture because somebody want to do it their way. Somebody want their name and recognition when you don't have to change anything. If the recipe is there, why do we have to go do, and that was my thing. When you got a program that is built and together, because that's what's happening there. No matter who the program, the recipe for success for those programs are there. But then when you bring in somebody, well, I want to do it my way, so we just going to X and scrap everything before, and we just going to restart it. It's like, what are we doing here?
And here's the thing that I'm saying from this standpoint is, it's almost like a nightmare. Our big thing now is, when you talk to the average SWAC fan, is we got to get some D1 transfers. We got to get D1 transfers. We got to load up on D1 transfers because we've seen the formula work maybe at a Florida A&M or Jackson State per se. So now we have a mindset that this is the way we all got to go. But the really discouraging thing about it all, Prayer, is the simple fact of what we are paying our coaches compared to these other schools. That's the thing that got me.
I bring it up on here all the time, Chris. Are we overpaying our coaches?
You talking about not getting your bang from the buck, bang for the buck. Look at how long Texas Southern has been paying their coaches, head coaches, in excess of $300,000. Look how long they've been doing that. And I mean, they have absolutely nothing to show for it. And when you go to those other FCS schools, the ones that's winning, the ones that's beating everybody's brains out, the ones that beat all our brains out, all right, there's very few of them that's hit the 300,000 mark. And I think what those other schools have is they have administrative support, and they have people that aren't lazy about doing their job. And that's where we're missing the ball at, because we're paying these coaches all this money. And I mean, it's like I say, Perry, it's like a nightmare. For instance, we get our brains beat in by Nickel State. Nickel State goes and play an in-conference game to Incarnate Word. They get their brains beat out. Incarnate Word go into the playoffs and get their brains beat out. So how far are we behind?
I was over it once I looked at the bad investment with Coach Dooley and the amount of money that they was willing to pay him more than what they was paying Odoms, and he had never beaten Odoms. Then we paid Dooley all this money, then we fired him, and then still had to pay him out. And it was like, why did we? That was a horrible investment. We just shelled out a ton of money to a guy who had not proven himself yet, and then had to come back, and then it put us in a tough situation. And I have continuously said, why do we pay SWAC coaches the mountain? I'm not hating on what you guys, I'm not counting your pockets, but why are we paying them so much? But we the first ones to yell, we're low resource institutions and what we don't have. But it seems yet that we make plenty of bad investments, but then cry wolf on the other side of it.
Well, the thing about it is, Perry, the Dooley hire just didn't make any sense whatsoever on no level. When the people I know, and they was telling me about it, and I said, the first thing I said was, 38-0. What you mean 38-0? I said, when Perryview was riding high, had all the talent, they players talking noise, and we go up there with Ladarius Skelton and beat them 38-0. I said, that's the dude that we gonna get. In other words, what would make you think he would have been the coach, was ready to be the coach at Southern University? He had won nothing. He had more resources at Prairie View. He had great facilities. He had the state of Texas and Louisiana's recruiting ground, and didn't win nothing. I went into a local establishment. One of the people that's, have some say, yeah, man, Coach Dooley coming here with his coaches. Man, they recruiting all these boys around here, and we sitting there ain't doing nothing. But they ain't winning nothing. Talent isn't his problem. And so now you go do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, Perry, for us to get to the SWAC championship game this past season, no matter how it was that we got there, is a blessing, because that Dooley hire could have set us back 20 years. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being honest with you, Perry. That thing could have really, really, really been bad. For Coach Graves to be able to get to the championship game after being predicted to finish fourth, that thing could have really got bad, and we could have been set back for I don't know how long. So going forward, what you're going to see now is you're going to see who's lazy and who's not. Because when you got 7,000 players in the portal, then it's going to depend upon who's lazy and who's not.
Because it seemed, Chris, like we like to plug and play. That developmental part, it seems to be the thing of the past around here.
Well, the developmental part is going to be
because that's what you seem to be saying that's happening in the Dakotas and the Montanas, right?
Exactly. But see, you don't see a lot of those guys, except the ones that maybe might have NFL aspirations, really transferring out of those systems. Those guys continue to build within, and that's where development is going to take place. Because here's what's going to happen: a lot of high school kids that you wouldn't normally get, you're going to be able to get them now because of the portal. Now except for the superstar ones that signing NIL deals and stuff like that, but you're probably going to get a lot of kids that you normally wouldn't get, because they steady closing the gap. And then when they change the rule to where junior college participation isn't going to have that much of an effect as like it did in the past on your NCAA participation, that's going to even close it even further. So what the coach has to do now is say, look, I look at a kid, I might have him 2 years, depending upon his development and everything. And that's the way you got to do. Okay, with all of the kids and all of these kids, it's going to depend upon how aggressive and how much effort you want to put in there. And it's going to tell on who can coach and who can't. I can tell you that, Barry.
And what you said, who lazy and who not?
And who lazy and who not. Because when you got these many athletes available to you like never before, it's just a matter of you tightening up. Pete Richardson, don't know how he did it, but Pete Richardson just could flat out coach. The staff that he assembled, the things that he was able to accomplish, he could just flat out coach. The first game against Northwestern State, nobody gave us a chance. I mean, nobody. And we went down to the Superdome, and to be a lifelong Jaguar fan and to watch that type of execution on the side of special teams, on the side of defense, on the side of just doing, we played complementary football most of Coach Richardson's career. And that's what and when you can do that, then the resources and everything will take care of themselves. But when you see a hire like we made with Coach Dooley, we can't make them kind of mistakes.
No, we can't.
We can't make them kind of mistakes. I got faith. I got faith in Terrence. And that's just based upon my personal relationship with him, understanding what's going on, being knowledgeable, being in tune to what's happening and everything like that. And so we'll see. But like I say, Perry, remember this. We're going to find out who's lazy and who's not. And I'm just going to drop this, and I'm not going to say, but I just want to ask you, Perry, have you heard where one of our quarterbacks might be going?
Yeah. You talking about T-Set? Yeah. Talking about T-Set said he might be going to Grambling. That's fine. He can go up. That's fine. Congratulations to the young man. He think it's fun. You can't wait to see them in the classic, huh?
Well, I've seen that movie before, Doc. So I'm not worried about none of that. But let's just keep that same energy, though, Perry.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
Find out who's lazy and who not. I appreciate the call, man.
Hey, thank you, Chris.
All right.
And trust me, Chris and I have more conversations about it, and you guys will too. We got time to take a break and come back, or this it? All right, let's take a break and come right back and close things out. Stay tuned, more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable, Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
Big receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out of foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle, and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5.
All right, we're back more to Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I'm Perry White. You know, from having the conversations that we are having, of course, I can start right here at home with Southern University. I think now is the time more than ever for us to take a step back. Let's slow down, because I think what we've been doing, we've been just moving. We just been doing stuff. I think now is the time for us to just take a step back, and let's evaluate everything that's around, right? The world continues to change, but are we paying attention to the change, or are we just letting it change around us? We got to focus. We got to bring this back together. We got to do our research, right? Let's understand what's changing in the world of athletics around us. Let's even understand what's changing in the educational world around us. Because for us to get back to what we once were, because we're not that no more. Let's just be honest. I'll be real with you. And I love Southern probably as much as anybody. But we're not what we used to be. It's time to reevaluate who we once were and evaluate the world that has changed around us so we can get to another level. And let's not try to make things, I always tell this to people, especially like where I'm from, stop trying to make things what it used to be. Let's make things into the future. Let's quit trying to recreate the past, and let's create a future, a new future. We can't recreate Pete Richardson days, right? We can't recreate what Southern was in the 70s, the 80s. All we can do is take the memories and we can take the foundation and we can build off of that and push it forward for a new generation so then they can have something to build off of. So let's work on doing that. I hope you guys had a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Be sure to follow us on our social media. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, man. I love you guys, and I hope you guys stay safe. We'll be back next week at the same time, the same place, because always, it's the Jaguar Journal. Happy New Year. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.